Hello and welcome to Master's Voice. I am Juicy and I'm joined with Mac Petty.
Hello.
And today we're gonna talk about planes of existence. Do you use them in your sessions or not at all? We're going to visit the non-material planes. So Mac Petty,
Yes.
my question to you: in your sessions, do you use extraplanar traveling?
I have not used them yet, but I'm planning to do that in my campaign that I'm running right now.
Oh,
So no experience in using them, but building them I do. I do have a city that's called Hiron, and it is a city that is built in 4 quadrants. But there are 5 quadrants.
you see.
The first quadrant that is on a different plane, and the other ones are on the plane of Danu. That's the
Oh, that's
world
cool.
I'm building in.
How do you link it? How do you link those quadrants? Do they step through a portal or some other way of traveling through that quarter?
Well, the second, third, fourth, and fifth quadrant they're on the Earth plane, sort to
Hmm.
say, and the first one is on the different plane, and they are linked through not a portal, but you have to be uh, beam me up, Scotty.
Beamed, teleported.
Teleported, yeah. But you have to be teleported to it from one of the leaders of the city or by the god that is living in the different plane.
Ah,
So you have to
that's
be the chosen one to say.
I see. An avatar or some kind.
Yeah. Um,
So I know you have a bit of a custom world based on fifth edition mechanics, right?
yeah, fifth edition.
Do you use spells from fifth edition too, such as the plane shift spell?
Well, also with that, I have not used planar shifting or anything like that in my campaign yet because my players are just third level.
Right.
And also the people they meet, they're not really high level yet. There are a few high level, but they don't use it
Hmm.
to travel between planes yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm planning to. But I think you said you did have an experience with it.
I love extraplanar traveling. I'm a big fan of it. Um, Mainly focused on the Forgotten Realms, all those planes that are not a material plane. I love the Nine Hells and Seven Heavens, but also the
Yeah.
Feywild and the Shadowfell, and the elemental planes, water, fire, earth. I love dipping into those realities. But not it doesn't mean that my players will fully travel to them. I mean, that's fun as well. But just letting my players know that it exists, that there is this whole different kind of world that they potentially could visit. I like teasing them with that. So
Okay, so you don't actually use the planes themselves, but you'd use them in a sense of saying they are in
yeah,
existence.
in a world building sense. And many of the monsters in the material plane do originate, or their heritage comes from other planes of existence. So I will bring the lore of those creatures into it to tie it to the different planes of existence.
So how do you get the knowledge of that they are real into the game? Do you do it through a media of a character, or do you show them something?
I try to be variety as much variety as possible there, or much diverse as possible there. Sometimes it's because a creature comes into existence. For example, if the druid conjures animals, those are fey. Those are from the Feywild. So I will describe how those creatures enter the material plane uh, through some portal. But if my
Ah.
players decide to use a spell or a potion that lets them travel to or look into the ethereal plane, I will describe it in a whole other way. Then they will actually physically interact with that plane. So
That's of course that's also a different plane.
yeah,
Yeah.
which in my games they are allowed to travel through walls and see through walls if they enter the ethereal plane. But there's also danger in doing that. You're sort of, on the edge. You are very close to the material plane, but you just shift it out of existence in a way. So that's how the ethereal plane works in my world.
Yeah. Actually, to add on to that, I did use the ethereal plane already.
You did?
Yeah, because I do have some special cats in my world, and they are ethereal cats.
Oh, that's
They,
neat. I love
they,
that.
yeah, they can. They use their ethereal body actually to hunt animals, to hunt mice. Like
Ah,
they go into the ethereal plane, they can look into the earthly plane, and then they shift in and out. And then when they shift in, they can catch the prey.
yeah, that's exactly what I mean with giving a taste of different worlds, of different planes that exist, although the players cannot access them directly.
Hmm.
I love that idea. Yeah.
Do you actually have all like also characters coming from a different plane and um, like they are stuck on another plane and they have to get back or something like that?
Currently, I have one player that is very closely tied to the Shadowfell. It's definitely not visible in her demeanor or her behavior, but her warlock inheritance comes from the Shadowfell. So I get to play with that a little bit. And that's cool.
That's
But
fun.
she's not stuck necessarily in a different plane of existence.
No, it's not like she didn't have a choice and she came there and she has to find her way back or something.
No. Currently, I did not do that. There is a whole lot more to tell on planes of existence, and I'd love to do that. So, if you have any favorite subjects on planes of existence, any ideas of what you would like to hear, let us know in the comments and leave a like. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you next time.
See you next time. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Master's Voice. I'm Juicy, and together with McPatty, I record and make those podcasts. Besides making podcasts, I also am a writer of words. I write adventures and supplements for Dungeons and Dragons on the Dungeon Masters Guild. You can find my work under RPG Papercrafts. Besides writing words, I also make battle maps. Not just flat ones, but three-dimensional ones. They pop-up battle maps that you can use to fascinate your players in a unique way. You can find my pop-up maps on Twitter and Patreon, both under the name of RPG Papercrafts. You can't miss it. Just search for RPG Papercrafts and you'll find me there. Again, thanks for tuning in and see you next time.